What if I told you some people never actually got to be children? Not because of age, but because life decided they had to grow up before they were ready. You've met them. Maybe you are one of them. The kid who always seemed older than their age, who worried about things kids shouldn't worry about, who learned to read the room before they even learned to read a book. Psychology has a name for this. And what it does to a person runs deeper than most people realize. Psychologists call it parentification. It's when a child is forced, emotionally or physically, to take on adult responsibilities. Maybe they became the emotional support for a parent who was supposed to support them. Maybe they raised their younger siblings. Maybe they just stopped asking for help, because no one was there to give it. Dr. Lisa Firestone's research shows these children develop something called hypervigilance. They are always scanning for danger, for mood shifts, for what could go wrong next. Because once upon a time, that one skill kept their entire world from falling apart. Here's the thing about growing up too fast. You become really good at being needed, and really bad at needing others. Studies in attachment theory show that children who took on adult roles early often grow into adults who feel guilty for simply having needs. They apologize for being upset. They minimize their own pain. They say, "I'm fine," even when they are absolutely not fine. Because somewhere along the way they learned that their feelings were a burden to someone who already had too much to carry. A 2019 study in the Journal of Child Psychology found something heartbreaking. Children forced into early maturity experience something called developmental grief. A quiet mourning for the childhood they never had. It shows up in strange ways. An adult who feels oddly emotional just watching kids play freely. Someone who doesn't know how to be silly, or spontaneous, or just present. They built walls around their younger self to protect it, and somewhere along the way forgot how to let anyone in. People who grew up too fast are often the most responsible people in the room, the ones who hold everything together. But here's the psychology behind that. It's not always ambition. Sometimes it's a survival pattern. Being useful, being needed, performing well, that was how they earned safety as a child. Psychologist John Bradshaw called this the false self. A version of you built for survival, not for authenticity. Accomplished on the outside. Quietly exhausted on the inside. If any of this sounds familiar, know this. The fact that you survived what you did took extraordinary strength. But healing isn't about going back. It's about finally giving yourself permission to rest, to play, to need people, to be just a person. Not a caretaker, not a fixer, not a wall that never cracks. You didn't lose your childhood for nothing. But you don't have to keep paying that price forever. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who needed to hear this today.